How we doing?
Good. Should we interpret anything from that powwow?
No, man.
No. Okay.
Senior, just trying to help him out.
You did have him, what was the third team today?
No. We rotated today.
Okay. How was today?
It was fun. It was great to be back on the field with the players and be around them, and see their progress. When you finish the year, you watch the season, you bring the guys in, you talk about different things you want them to work on physically, and they have 8 weeks to try to get those changes made physically, and some of the things are mental, and today's the first day. Obviously we're not in pads, so you can't get into any of that, but the guys worked hard, they had good purpose, coaches had good energy. It was a fun practice to be a part of.
Coach, the positives you guys can take from last year, at the end of last year's season, did it carry over today? It
did. I think we had momentum, finishing the year the way we did with the bowl win, and it was a short break. It really was, and so that was the one thing that's probably the biggest difference, is just how much time they had off. And I'm glad we don't, because that means you're in a bowl, obviously, but the semester here starts so early, and the guys are right back into it. So I thought they came out, and really there wasn't a lot of lost translation from last season and the communications that were taking place on the field.
You mentioned the physical transformations. Any guys that stuck out to you in particular with the work they did this offseason?
Deontay Holden, he's gained 30 pounds. He was like 195 or something last year. He's up to 230, so you can see a big difference with him. Contavious has really done a nice job. He's put on some good weight. BJ Hill, same thing on defense. Offensively, Tyler Jones has done a nice job with his body, transitioning some weight. Same thing with Prescott, and Schooley and Joe Tooney look really, really good for them. So, tight end wise, I think Benson Brown had a really nice offseason. You can see his body's changed.
Contavious, you have him on the inside there a little bit. Is
we
that
do.
Just because you have injuries there, or is that something you
No,
maintaining?
We talked to him at the end of last season about learning both positions. We do have 3 guys that we will have back for next season that are out of the spring at D-tackle, and so it's an opportunity for him to get some more reps, but also, when we play some of these spread type teams, to get him inside where he can have some pass rush opportunities on guards and centers.
How important is it to look at the tackles on offense this spring?
It's big, the biggest spots you worry about, from the losses we had last year, obviously, are offensive tackle, defensive tackle, and wide receiver, and everything starts, on the line of scrimmage for us. So it's going to be fun to see it. Will Richardson will be back with us here in a couple of days, and so we'll have him and Tyler working together, and Alex Barr, and then eventually our signees.
How's Coach McDonald adjusted?
Really good. Him and Coach Canada and Coach Yurimovich have worked together before, so that the offensive system wasn't hard for him to pick up, and he's a really good teacher. It was fun watching him bounce around today.
Did Tyler Jones get practice at left tackle?
He did.
When he redshirted, and what have you seen out of him?
Yeah, very athletic. He's got a 6'9" wingspan, so even though he's not tall, he's got really long arms and quick feet. Very athletic guy. Bends well. The bowl practices were big for him. You can see he's really done a nice job in the off-season, working on the different things he needs to work on.
Coach, you get the sense that the players too had a little more positive attitude out there just because of just the success they're having?
Well, I think when you go from the way we were to where we ended up, they understand the value of practice, and it's something we had to teach, just the way we practice around here and what the results will be if you start doing it the right way. And I think they understand what's needed now to be competitive in the games for 4 quarters. So they're holding each other accountable. They're helping each other through the practice, and a lot of positive, reinforcement from player to player out here on the field today. It was fun to watch that.
How about you as a coach? You haven't wavered through the good and the bad too. Is that the way you pulled the system?
Yeah, I think if the leader is somebody that's up and down, it's hard for the players to be steady. I got a vision. I know what I want it to be like, and I know how to get there, and it takes time. And just continue to be who I am and consistent with my approach, and give the players the support and structure they need.
He's the 3rd string for Jacoby. What ways are you trying to challenge him?
Just to improve on the things. He is a good scrambler, so working on that aspect of his game, finding some receivers down the field. The deep ball consistency, he did a really nice job in the bowl game with that, building off of that. There were some plays that we felt like he had that would have changed some of the numbers, offensively last year, that he wants to have, this year, probably get him closer to 30. I think he was around 25 last year touchdown-wise, and those big chunks will come, you know, if he's more accurate down the field.
I kind of feel taunted by this indoor facility over here.
Me too.
You got snow piles on the ground.
I know. Yeah, it'll be nice to have it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have it in the middle of May, so hopefully, you know, it'll help us through the summer when we have lightning and things like that, and then this time of year it'll be very helpful next year.
Just want to be clear, is Shadrack Thornton's status on the team in jeopardy here?
No, not at all. No, we're excited about Shad's senior year and looking forward to seeing what he does this offseason.
What about freshman Roseboro last week? Got a lot of good.
Yeah.
Who did well today? Who stood out for you?
You know, I'll have to watch the tape. You know, it's just I tried to grab all those guys in pre-practice and just congratulate them on their first day of college football. You know, it was fun to see them all, James Smith-Williams and Riley, Freddie, running around out there. There's a lot of young guys. I know TJ McCoy, his family was here watching them. So it's a big day, you know, your first day of college football.
How big is this spring for a guy like Jalen Samuels?
I think it's big for everybody. I mean, you know, for him, played a lot, has a chance to be a bigger role, have a bigger role in the offense. And you know, last year he was trying to figure out which way was right and left. And you know, he's just like a lot of these guys. I said in our team meeting today, whatever you were last year, you got to be a lot better because we lost some good players. And you know, the way you make up for your losses is to recruit the right guys, but also the players that are back have to be better than they were the year before. And he's one of those guys.
You had a couple of people go through the NFL Combine. What feedback are you getting on the seniors in general?
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about how Rob tested when he was there. And, you know, people don't really talk about punters, you know, when they're testing and things like that. But I know they're excited about what he did in the season. But, you know, Rob has a chance, you know, with this pro day coming up to go through the drills. I know there are going to be a lot of drills they want to see him in. But he definitely improved his stock. And the rest of the guys, you know, that were in the bowl games will have a chance in pro day to do their testing. And there's a lot of interest.
When is pro day going to be?
Yeah, I don't know. March 23rd.
Your concern level at receiver, you lost some parts.
Sure.
Obviously, you got some other versatile guys like Samuels and Hines coming in. That'll, you know, you'll spread the ball out. But
yeah, we'll be okay. You know, I mean, David Greenwich, who's going to be out a little bit with the sore back, but David will be a big target for us. You know, Jonathan Alston, Braylon Cherry, Jamichael Ramos all had good first days out here today, and they're all very experienced guys, like I said, that need to play better and will. And Steph Lewis is a guy that kind of got lost last year as the year went on because of some injuries, but I think he's a very talented guy that could have a big second year.
you had Chubb.
Yeah, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bradley's playing Will. You know, Jared and Arias and Artemis are battling up Mike, and Bradley Chubb and Ernie Robinson, Riley Nicholson were the three guys working at Will today.
Do you think MJ will be fine for a summer?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. You know, they're being really cautious with him, and he's a little bit more than 6 months out. So there's some things he could probably do non-contact wise, but they're being really cautious and trying to get him to the season.
Looked like Ty was a full go. You had
He
him at
was.
defensive end. It's kind of a nice get.
Well, his injury was in the spring, you
Yeah.
know, so he's really 11 months out. So, yeah, he's up to 260 pounds and running around really well. So, made a couple nice plays.